Oh well, what can I say? Hey guys, today's day 70. Whew, it is windy today, oh my goodness. Hand stitch on paper or tag with yarn or fibers. Okie dokie. Let me get some stuff together. And now we got mowing. I just started talking, open my mouth, woo, mowing. I need to move someplace really quiet. I need quiet and peace in my life, and all I get's mowing. All right, guys, I'm gonna get my stuff together. I'll be back in a second. So I've got some embroidery floss here. I picked out some colors that I liked, and I have a stamp set. It's clear stamps called Flowers. It's by Autumn Leaves. I have clear stamps, Autumn Leaves Flowers, called Swirls. I've got my acrylic block. I've got an ink pad that's a very light color, antique linen. I have my soft pastels. I have Matte Medium by Liquitex out here. I've got a book page. I've got a couple of our starter index cards that just have excess paint wiped on them. I've got a couple of plain tags, and I've got some starter tags that we threw some paint on and stencil stuff. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm going to choose which one I want to work on first, and I think I want to try a tag that's plain, and I want to put my soft pastels on there and get a little bit of a color background, and then we'll go on from there. I also have a couple of needles to work with that I can put embroidery floss through easily. I want to take a color or two of the chalk pastel and just put it on my tag. I think I'll start with this blue here, and I don't want it real dark, but I do want color. And I think I'll put in a yellow here. And I'm going to pour a little matte medium out, and then just start with the light color and blend it in. And this is also going to seal my color in so that I don't have to worry about it being water soluble anymore. Okay, and you can use paint to do this. Use whatever you've got. If you're following along, just use whatever you've got. I want to blend in the yellow just a little bit into this blue. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of darker blue down here and rub that in. Okay, I like this. So let's throw your paintbrush down into the matte medium now. Oh boy, oh boy. Let's get a little color up there at the top. Okay, while that is drying, let's go ahead and do another one. Alright, I want a little bit of pink on this tag, so I'm just going to use some acrylic paint. It's Ceram Coat Rose Pink. And I want to use it the rest of my matte medium, just because it's there. I don't need it, but I'm going to put it on my brush. and just gonna put some pink on here. Okay, that's what I want. That's what I want. Let me dry that, and then we'll do the next step. So what I did next was I took a flower stamp and a swirl stamp that I liked from each set, and I put them on my acrylic block like this. And can you see that? I don't know. Let's see. Well, you'll see in a minute. And I'm going to take my ink, and I'm hoping to be able to see this ink, but it not be too dark. If it's not dark enough, I'll have to do it again, but I'm going to ink up my stamp. Let's do a test. We'll use this. Let's just test it on this. Let's see if it works. Okay, can't see a darn thing. Okay, so it's not going to work. Too light a color. We'll have to get another color, so hold on. Okay, we're going to try the Distress ink that's tea dye and see how that looks. I think it'll work a lot better. So let's ink up our stamp again, and let's try it on this tag here. I'm just going to stamp the tag in the center. It doesn't really matter. And actually, it's a good thing that this can be activated with water, because if I don't hit the mark with my embroidery floss, I can get rid of the ink. Okay, so there we have our image stamped, and I'm going to stamp this one too. There you go. All right, so let's work on these two for a second. I'm going to dry this ink to make sure it's really dry. All right, I've threaded 2 needles, one with this color and one with this color. And if it matters to you, this is number 500 and this is number 3821 of the DMC embroidery floss. I used all 6 strands. What I want to do is I'm going to follow my lines around my stamp, and it won't be perfect. I haven't embroidered for so long, like many years. So I'm not really concerned about being perfect here. You know that. But we're going to follow the prompt and do some hand stitching. I'm going to start probably right here in the center circle with this green. I'm going to put it in the center. I made a hole in the front so I could see where my center was. It's come up from the back there. Okay, I'm just going to make a little French knot by taking my needle and holding my thread with these 2 fingers, taking my needle and going under, over, and then under again, and back around. And this is not a lesson in embroidery. This is just how I'm making my French knot. And if you have trouble with this, if you're just following along, just look up online how to make French knots and learn that way, because I'm not teaching you this. This is just me starting my tag, okay? All right, so then I'm gonna come up from the bottom next to my French knot, and I'm just gonna start following my little lines around, and I'm gonna just make little tiny stitches because I gotta go around curves, and you know, however it works, I'm just gonna get the stitches down. And I'll probably pre-make some holes so I can see where to come up from the other side, because I'm not working with fabric where I can poke in and out and the fibers will close back up for me. So now we have stitching on the front, and our marks pretty much disappeared under the thread, and what didn't disappear I can get rid of with a little bit of water. So now we're going to work on our flower. I'm going to take my other floss color, so my petals meet down here at a point. I'm going to poke a hole in the front so I know where to come up from the back. Okay, I put a hole right here at the top part where my point is at the petal. I'm going to hold the thread with my thumb, and I'm going to go all the way back down to the hole I just came in from, from the back and go back down through it. But I'm not going to pull it all the way through. I'm going to stop. I'm going to bring my needle up from the bottom into the hole I made here at the other tip and come up. And then pull my petal and then go down the other side, on the outside, kind of to tack it down. That's how I'm going to do my petals. There's our flower, and the center, you can paint in the center if you want to. And then I thought, well, maybe I'll take this blue, and it is number 598. And what I'm going to do is I knot at the end just like I have been doing. Normally in embroidery, I don't think you knot the end. I used to, when I did it a long time ago, you would start and then you would tack your thread, your loose thread back behind your work. But we're not doing that because this is now and that was then. Okay, so I've got all these holes punctured where I came around from my petals, so I'm just going to start at one of the holes and just go around each one and see if I like that look. I can always pull it out if I don't. I pulled out a lot because I want to use this color again. And go down the next hole. And because my hole's already punctured, I can come up the back and then go back down in the hole you just came out of a minute ago, before the hole you're sitting in. That way you get a closed circle instead of little openings in between each space. I don't even remember how to do all these stitches anymore. It's been so long. I did some stuff in high school where I embroidered the back of my gym suit and tore off the sleeves. Took off the belt. Kind of made it my own little unique thing. They were awful suits. You should have seen them. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm going to continue doing that and just go all the way around the edge, and I'll be right back. Okay, there's our center circle for the flower we're working on. And now I'm going to take my black soot distress ink and I'm going to go around the edges. I want to bring this in a little bit. There we go. Okay, I found a piece of rickrack that I like, so we're going to use that, but I'm not going to try to loop it. I'm just going to stick it through the hole, pull it out the other side, and then I'm going to kind of crisscross it a little bit. Not much. And I'm going to take my little tiny attacher and I'm going to staple it right there. Okay, that's one down. So I'm going to do this tag off camera the same way I did this one. Okay, this one is done. So we have two. I think what I want to do next is this paper, this book paper that I've got sitting here. I'm going to take some gesso. You can use white paint, I say that all the time. I'm going to put a little bit out, I'll put it on my mat. I'm just going to smear it on with my finger a little bit and kind of push back this text. I'm leaving Monday afternoon alone. Maybe I'm going to use my card. It's a little faster and it covers more area and it still gives me the look I'm going for. Alright, that's dry. First thing I'm going to do is, before I put my stamp on, I want to mark an area for me to notch out. But I want it bigger, so I'm going to cut it bigger. Just wanted a guideline about where that center area was that I was going to use. Okay, I've got my notch, so when I close it, I've got a little notch there. And now I know where I want to put my flower. I don't want it up too high, so, and I'm going for the shape of this one. This one is this flower up here, It's got the text inside. I don't care if I get the text. If I get it, fine. If I don't, fine. But I'm going for the shape. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and trace around it with my pencil just lightly because the ink disappears as I handle this. So I want to be able to see my marks. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to draw myself a little stem like that. And maybe one little leaf. Okay, that's what we've got. This is book paper, so it's very fine. So, and this needle's rather large, so you got to be careful that you don't screw up your paper. So I'm going to be careful, and we're just going to go ahead and get started on this. I'm going to do the stem and the leaf first. I'm going to go ahead and pre-make my holes all the way down so I don't have to stop and do that. I'm actually going to do it a little different because I can bend this paper easier than I could the tag. I'm going to bring it out the front at the same time as doing the back. Okay, I have this little guy finished. Originally I was thinking of stitching here and making this a little pocket, but I think what I want is a fake pocket because there's a lot of stitching back here and sliding something in and out would be a problem, so I'd have to glue some paper here to protect it, and I just think I'll change my direction. So what I've got here is a piece of scrap. This is from one of the other projects we did in some video back. I'm not sure how many back. And I'm going to take this tag and I'm going to put it, let's see, let's cut it off about right there. So I'm just going to trim this little piece of scrap to the shape of a tag. Punch my hole. Okay, I found the ribbon I want to use, so I'll just stick this on. Alright, and then I'm going to glue this in here, about right there, because I want this little peak of color and this little peak of color to show, and I want this blue to show. Alright, so I'm just going to glue on the back here a little bit. Close my little paper back. Okay, and then just glue some on the front. Okay, now what I'm going to do is take this over to my sewing machine, and I have beige thread in my machine and I'm not going to change it. So I'm going to leave that color in, and I'm just going to stitch here and here and here. Okay, so I'll be right back. Okay, I've got my little faux pocket stitched up. Now I can glue this down to something, or I could just add it into a journal page or a book or something. I don't know. Who knows what'll happen. But I'm also going to distress the edges. I'm going to use Distress Ink in Vintage Photo. And it's going to go around the edges. Okay, what would really be cute is if I painted in the flower. Tempted to do that with my Spa Blue. What do you think? Want to try it? If we don't like it, oh well. What can I say? We tried. Just do a little bit. Okay, let's just put a little blue. Oh yeah. Yes. Yes, Spa Blue. You always, always come through for me. And let's get a little bit of our other favorite color. Y'all know what it is, right? Sea Breeze in Americana. Just a little bit on our brush, just a little bit. Okay, and I'm not even filling in completely. I'm leaving a little bit of a gap, a little hole, a little white showing. Okay, and then I need a green. Don't know if there's any in the cap. Hopefully there is, because it's rather thick and hard to shake. Yep, pretty, pretty, pretty. Okay, so I think we're gonna stop on this little guy. I could, and I may. So much for stopping. Bring in some pencil marks, which I always love. I think just some pencil-y sketches to make the flower stand out a little bit. Just scribbly, very pale. Okay, that's good enough. All right, so now we have 3 done. Okay, so I think I'll do a couple off camera. Alrighty, I only made 1 more off camera because it has taken me longer than I really wanted it to make this stuff. So I'm gonna quit. This one here, I went ahead and I just did on an index card, and I can back it with something if I want to, but I like that rough look back there, so you know, that's just me. But anyway, this is just a piece of fabric I gathered and then glued on. I didn't stitch it on, and I took this little embellishment here, I just stitched it on and I glued it to help sit it where I want it. So that's on there, and I didn't write anything. I didn't put any stamping, a word or anything. I thought I might put a word down here, but maybe later, or maybe up here, I don't know. So this is what we've made today. We made these 2 first, this one and this one, and this little faux pocket, and this one. I will see you tomorrow for prompt number 71. I hope you have a great whatever it is. Bye-bye.